I feel like I'm at an age now where it's kind of gloves off. You know, I'm really tired of the TV commercials that are really nasty and make older people out to be buffoons. And I'm really tired of the fact that, people, don't want to be older. Oh, we got to be anti-aging. We want to be young forever. It's no, man, you don't want to be young forever. Life is a cycle. Life is an arc. We become more of who we are. And so I feel like I'm fighting harder now than ever before. Trying to get a more positive image of aging out there, accepted. Gotta wipe out this ageism stuff. Now, is it as bad as sexism or racism? Probably not. But it's still nasty that, that just because you're 60 or 70, you don't see yourself represented in TV. If you're in a movie, you're some kind of goofball old uncle, We got this thing wrong. And the other thing is that I think that we need better relationships between the generations. I think those of us who are older need to be more connected to the young, both because we can teach them a little bit of what we've learned, and also I think there's so much to be extracting from young people, their music, their beats, their sounds, their passions, their fears, their hopes. That's the way it ought to be. And there's a big transformation happening. Boomers are coming along. It's a lot of us. We've changed industries every step of the way. We're wanting to keep learning. We're wanting to fall in love again. We're wanting to try new things. We're wanting to be entrepreneurs. And so I think you're seeing not only is this huge demographic push going on, more and more and more longer lived people, but there's a whole new attitude coming along.
Cecily, let me start with you because, I imagine that you alone among this group have experienced all three of the insidious isms, and I'm talking sexism, racism, and now ageism. Does experiencing one maybe prepare you to better deal with the others, or do they all just compound and create issues?
Yeah, I think combined they create their own individual issues. And yes, I have a unique way of experiencing all of them, right? Even as a Black female in television, oftentimes you realize that as you get older, you're like, oh, I can't stay on TV very long. And as opposed to our white male counterpart who can be as old as dirt and still delivering the news. Maybe I shouldn't say that. I know, right? But they're still delivering the news. But it does create its own unique problems. I love exactly what the doctor said. I feel like you're fighting even more, but I'm not getting older. I'm getting bolder and stronger, just as what we're saying. And, as the old saying goes, Black don't crack. I'm 56 and I'm looking fabulous, if I say so myself.
No argument here. Amy, like Cecily, you've worked on the air in broadcasting for decades. I know you've experienced sexism. I think every woman on the air does. Now, how about ageism? Did you feel that when you were working on television?
Yeah, I think, it actually happens at any age. I remember being fresh out of college and being told I was too young for a job or, not experienced enough. So I think we have this strange culture where ageism happens at any age, and we have to somehow get past this point of thinking that there's some sort of sweet spot for jobs or even for life. That at this point you're too young and at this point you're too old, but right in here, this is the perfect age. And that's just not true. Every decade is different. Every decade has value. And I really love what Ken said, where we have to, as we age, remember that we can also learn from the younger generations while they also can learn from us.
I'm asked a lot, how can we overcome ageism in the workplace? And it's really not an easy answer. If you're one of the millions of unemployed workers over 50, there are companies that do value experience. Bill, what do you think someone can do to overcome the negative stereotype that so many now hold about older workers?
I sit there and I listen to you, Mark, and Cecily and Amy. I don't see age at all because you're bringing the passion. I think when you show up to work, if you've got game, if you're being you, if you're a good employee, if you like what you're doing, you've got that spark, people don't see your age. It's only when we start to fall in ourselves to some of these stereotypes and start to slow down and we don't join the conversation when people are talking about pop culture stuff. What did you watch on Netflix or what did you see on that streaming station? So in a lot of cases, have the guts, have the courage to be you, bring what you bring to the party, but have the spark, have the energy, come ready to play.